Hey everyone, I'm Lyle Burks with the Viking Speaks. This is the 48 Laws of Power. Hey everyone, I'm Lyle Burks with the Viking Speaks. This is the 34th day of the 90-day challenge. And this is the 48 Laws of Power. Law 3, conceal your intentions. Now, true to the book, he starts it again with a quote. It says, keep people off balance in the dark by never revealing the purpose behind your actions. Now, this one seems pretty cut and dry, but he gives a few examples. One talks about the pursuit of a woman. Now, it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman and what you're interested in. The pursuit of what you're interested in is a bit of a dance. And he goes into great detail about that. There was a young man in France who had his eye on a young lady and had no clue what he was doing, screwed up left and right. And there was an older woman, and I want to say the book put her at 62. And she was getting pretty frustrated watching this guy screw it up. So she took him under her wing and basically told him how to do it. Act disinterested, nonchalant about it when he's around the young lady. Stop showing up at places where he normally would. Show up at random places where she might be, but again showed no typical interest. And when she does come near him, play it off as if it's not a big deal. So eventually he does that, and everything just goes on for a few weeks, and then he finally has an opportunity to meet the young lady at her house. Now this is France back in, I want to say the Victorian era. I could be mistaken, but so it was kind of a big to-do, big mansion, fancy everything, right? Well, he goes in there and he blows his cover right out of the gate within arriving in 20, 30 minutes. He's sitting there confessing his undying love to this lady. What do you think she did? She freaked out. She excused herself politely, as they did back in an aristocratic society in France. Left the room, never to return for the evening. Didn't say goodnight, didn't say anything, just as she wasn't feeling well and could not come down. He didn't get to talk to her again for months. Every time he tried to, she wouldn't have it. She was either not at home or unavailable, conveniently. And when they did finally meet, the meeting was so awkward that he could just never remember it. All because he played his cards too soon. Now, if any of you have ever pursued a woman, or if you're a lady watching this, you ever pursued a man, it happens. Rarely, but it happens. But, in all other shows in between, I could care less who you're pursuing. But if you've ever done that, and you've made this mistake, you know how bad this sucks. Keeping yourself every damn second. But then you have the reverse, right? So that's where you screwed up the law. What happens when you actually practice the law? Talks about a Prussian prince, Prince William, I believe it was. And this was back in I'm going to have to have one of my history buffs double check. I don't have the book in front of me. But I want to say it was the 1600s when Austria was hell-bent on keeping Russia divided. And the head of the Prussian Empire, King Bismarck, I believe, did not want to go to war with Austria. So he appeased the Austrians because they had a bigger army, they were more powerful, they had more influence. And they were solely hell-bent on keeping Germany separated because a divided nation is easy to conquer. Prince William knew that, and he had the majority of political support within the cabinet. but he knew that the king would not support his cause. So he took an opposite approach, and instead of adamantly and bluntly stating his truth and speaking to what he wanted to do, he played the king's game and spoke against the war and spoke about peace and ensuring that they maintained a neutral stance with their Austrian counterparts. As a result of that, he was granted a position in the ministry. He eventually became prime minister. And once he did, that was a couple years after he made his declarations, all the while still wanting to go to war, just biding his time. A couple years later, as the prime minister, he then had enough power to execute the war. And they ended up doing it, and they won, and Germany became a united country again because of his patience. So, in adherence to the law, it can become a great asset. So just be careful when you practice this one, because it can backfire pretty badly too. If you throw people off your scent and you do everything you can, you follow the law to a T, and you make a misstep, as soon as people realize that you were deceiving them, it'll be hell to pay. So use this one with extreme discretion. But just like any of the other laws of power, they have a purpose in place. Be wise when you decide to use something like this. And again, if you want more detail, I'll post the link below. That's Robert Greene's 48 Laws of Power. That's all I got for tonight. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Much love.